Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Saturday, January 28th slate of NBA action. I'm super excited to dive into it. We have a monstrous slate today, and I found some spots that I'm really excited to target. So hopefully we can have another winning day. Just a spoiler alert, we'll go ahead and get into that in just a minute. But before we did, I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 11,000 subscribers at the time of recording this video. We are less than 50 subscribers away. So if you guys want to be a part of that first 11,000 here on the channel, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me. So much more than you guys will ever know. So before we go ahead and dive into a quick recap, I did just want to go ahead and say that I am sorry about not posting a video yesterday. If you guys aren't new around here on the channel, you guys do know that I do travel quite a bit for my job, and unfortunately I kind of got called last second to travel for my job, and really just didn't have time to make the video, so I put out a short for it instead, and I also put my plays in the community tab as well. So hopefully you guys did tail those, because boom, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we are here with the shades on, with the sunnies on. And if you guys are new around here and you guys have absolutely no idea what I'm doing right now, it's because if you guys go ahead and take a look up in the right hand corner, we got a clean sweep on the day. Clean sweep on the day. Ended up going 3-0 on our plays as of yesterday, and it was absolutely needed in the worst way. In the worst way. Obviously, I know I have not necessarily been great, but today, we finally got a sweep. I feel like it's been forever since I put these glasses on. So I am so stoked that we ended up getting a clean sweep. I felt like I was able to read the board yesterday, nearly perfect. So let's go ahead and talk about the plays that I did end up having. So we did end up having the Thunder +1 versus the Cavs at -110. This one was very, very close up until the fourth quarter. Once the fourth quarter ended up hitting, Shea and the squad ended up just absolutely cruising past them. So that one ended up working out for us. I can't remember the exact margin that they ended up winning by, but it was pretty significant. So I saw some people have Thunder Moneyline too, so congrats on the plus odds at the beginning of the day. Then we did also have Memphis and Minnesota under 238 at -110. This one barely even got over 200. This was a game that was way too overpriced when it comes to this line. Memphis and Minnesota both had very low scoring nights, and it ended up working out for us. So we ended up winning that one. Then we did end up having what I called on my Twitter the All-Star Starter Snub Parlay. So we ended up having John Morant 25+ points and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander 25+ points. Both those guys were able to get it done for us. I know Shai had a really big night. I think he had like 35, so he was able to crush this line and then some. I think Ja just barely went over. I would have to triple check on that, or you guys will see it right up here. I'll put it right above. But regardless, we ended up cashing that one as well. It was only -125, but that's the same as a normal play for most people. So that one ended up working out for us too. 3-0 on our plays, and I don't look to stop there. Of course, we will still be doing the $50 giveaway if I am not profitable from Wednesday through Sunday slate of games. So on Wednesday, we did end up going 1-3 on our plays. Thursday, we ended up going 1-2 on our plays. So with a clean sweep today of a 3-0 sweep, we now have broke even. We are right at 500, so hopefully we can get over that hump and we can continue making profit. 3-0 is a huge day, and I found 3 more plays that I really like. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. So for our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day, we're going to be going to the Knicks and the Nets game. We're taking the under 226.5 here at -110 odds. This line has already gotten bumped down by 2 points, and I think it does end up going lower. This game is one of the first games of the day. I think it's the second one. I believe it starts at like 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So this is one of the earliest games on the entire slate. It's already been bumped down by 2 points. I'm trying to catch it as soon as possible, so I think that you guys should as well. Brooklyn is 27-20-1 to the under this year. They've been very good. They're very profitable when it comes to that under, and I think this is another good spot. They're 12-9 to the under at home, more profitable than not. And also New York Knicks, they are 12-11-2 to the under on the road. But what I like most about this is because it's not going to be played in Madison Square Garden. The Knicks do average slightly fewer points per game scored on the road, and the Knicks also shoot 3% lower on the road. So I do think that this is a pretty good spot here for the New York Knicks. And Brooklyn, they do allow 2 fewer points per game at home. So I know these numbers aren't massive, but in the grand scheme of things, every little stat helps, and this is over the course of the entire season. So when you're talking about 2 fewer points per game, that can add up for sure. And Brooklyn is also 7-3-1 to the under in the last 11 games. They've been very profitable here to the under, and I think this is another really good spot for it. The Knicks are 20th in pace, and Brooklyn is 23rd. I think that this is going to be a very slow-paced game. I think that there's going to be a lot more defense than is expected. Hopefully, some of the injury report guys, hopefully they do end up playing. Like I know, for example, Ben Simmons is listed as questionable right now. Hopefully he does end up playing. I know Day'Ron Sharpe, I think he's currently listed as out. But hopefully we are able to go ahead and get this one done. This should be a very good matchup. It should be a very gritty game. So as long as it doesn't go into overtime, I do think that we see some value with this one. So we're going to be riding with it. For our first official play of the day, our Kings kill shot play of the day, Knicks and the Nets under 226.5 at minus 110 odds. Now for our second official play of the day, we are taking the Kings -3 here versus the Timberwolves at minus 110 odds. Now if you take a look at it, yesterday in the consensus play, I did take the Timberwolves. I took their spread +3 versus the Memphis Grizzlies, and that one did end up paying out. I think they ended up winning by like 11 points or something like that. But the Kings, they're coming off of a really bad loss to Toronto. I think that they lost by double digits and maybe even close to 20 in that game. So I do think this is a good bounce back spot versus a Timberwolves team that played one of the best teams in the league the night before, and they have absolutely no rest, and they're going to be playing the Kings, who are definitely a solid team as well. The Minnesota is also 4-4 against the spread on the second leg of a back-to-back, so literally a coin flip when it comes to that, but I think this is a good spot to be taking the favorite here. The Kings have also covered in 7 out of their last 9 games. They've been a very, very solid basketball team. And I know that the Timberwolves have too, but I think this is a spot that you do want to take the Kings. The Timberwolves have just had a really tough stretch of games. And I could see this being a game where they end up letting off some steam. Gobert is still coming off of an injury, despite him playing last game versus the Memphis Grizzlies. He is still coming off of an injury, so we never know exactly how that's going to affect him. Minnesota is also 14-13 against the spread at home, so just barely profitable in that category. But Sacramento is 13-7 against the spread on the road and 5-1 as a road favorite. One of the best teams in all of basketball when it comes to covering as a road favorite. So I really do like this play here for our second official play of the day. We're going to be riding with the Kings -3 here versus the Timberwolves at minus 110 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we're going to a same game parlay in the Wizards and the Pelicans game. The first leg of the parlay is going to be Kyle Kuzma to score 20 or more points. He has covered this in 4 straight games, and he's covered in 6 out of his last 7. And last game versus the Pelicans, he did only have 19, but in that game, he only played 23 minutes because he ended up fouling out of that game. So he was crushing it. He almost scored a point a minute in 23 straight minutes. So I think that this is a good spot. I think Kuzma does end up getting to 20. I don't see him fouling out again. That would be quite the weird narrative there. Porzingis is still going to be out for this game, which is why I do like Kuzma even more. I think that this is a really good spot for him. The Pelicans also do allow the 7th most points per game to opposing small forwards in the last 7 games, so they've given up a lot of points to that position. And for the second leg of the parlay, we're going with Bradley Beal, 4 or more assists. He has covered in 9 straight games. He does love to finish right at 4, though, so I'm sure it's going to be down to the very, very wire, but hopefully he can get it done for us. He's more than likely going to be drawing a matchup of a really good defender like Herb Jones. I don't expect them to put CJ McCollum on him. I expect CJ McCollum to be more on a guy like Monte Morris, but you never really know. I'm not sure exactly how the Pelicans are going to match up with it, but I do think that Bradley Beal is probably going to be getting the Herb Jones matchup. And Beal has gone over in 6 out of his last 7 games versus the Pelicans. So if he is being guarded by Herb Jones, I do think he is going to be very, very passive in this one. And for the third and final leg of the parlay, we're going with Jonas Valanciunas, 8 or more rebounds. Now this one's super juiced, but I mean, like, I just wanted to be able to get it close to that minus 110, and we were able to do that. He has covered this line in 7 straight games, and he's covered in 12 out of his last 13. So he's been very, very good to this line. And there is no Porzingis in this game, as I had already mentioned. No Porzingis. He should spend a lot of time around the rim with Daniel Gafford. Of course, I love Daniel Gafford, former Chicago Bull, so I do love Daniel Gafford, but he does spend a lot of time around that rim, and I think that Jonas Valanciunas is going to kind of follow him around in there. So he has also covered in all 3 games versus Washington with the New Orleans Pelicans, and he's covered in 8 straight versus Washington in total. So he has feasted against Washington, and I don't really expect anything to change. So that is going to be our third and final play of the day. As of right now, I may end up adding one, so make sure you guys do check out my Twitter and the pinned comment section down below. But that is going to be the third and final play of the day. The Wizards and the Pelicans same game parlay for plus 114 odds currently on FanDuel. And for our consensus play of the day, we are going to the Rockets and the Pistons game. Currently, the Pistons are 4.5-point favorites, and it kind of seems like it is for good reasons. The Rockets are going to be without Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green for this game. I think it's going to be very tough for them to be able to tackle it. We are still waiting to hear from one of our cappers. We're waiting from Brady. He is still currently at work, so I will update it in my Twitter and on the pinned comment section. But 4 of us as of right now, so Mitch, Seth, Ryan, and me, we are all on the Pistons minus 4.5. I know that the Pistons, they are going to still be without Marvin Bagley, Corey Joseph, and of course Cade Cunningham. But I just don't think it's going to really matter. The Pistons, I think, are just overall the better team, especially with the Rockets without Jalen Green. I think that this is a pretty good spot to target. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 11,000 subscribers. We are less than 50 subscribers away at the time of recording this video. So as I mentioned, if you guys do want to be a part of that, make sure you guys do sub. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.